complicated graph, but I'm going to try to simplify this for you. Antibodies do not show up until you are infected. Okay, so an antibody is specific, and it is produced by your white blood cells, by your immune system, specifically by a cell called the B cell. The coordination of the immune system is by white blood cells called T cells. What happens is the virus consists of protein, the spikes that you've seen, little red spikes, and a bilipid layer, and inside is the RNA. There's other proteins embedded in that ball. So it comes in contact with the white blood cells of your body, and the white blood cells successfully ingest and break apart the virus. And then they go through a process where they start to show the rest of the white blood cells in the body, this is what this infectious agent looks like. Let's gear up for the fight, okay? And then at that stage, the B cells, plasma cells, they say, okay, let's do this. The ones that are reactive with the virus, the ones that produce antibodies that are reactive and neutralizing with the virus, they go into overdrive. They start producing antibodies in large quantity. Antibodies are not a monolithic thing. They have different classes and they have different purposes, but there's 5 classes. Let's only talk about 2, okay? So IgM is a class of antibody that will show up early, all right? And then it will start to dissipate late. So it starts to dissipate. It shows up early, it dissipates early. It's the purple dotted line. But what's more important than IgM, which is only involved in the initial response to the virus, is this curve that we see in dotted line green, right? In that dotted line green, these are what we call protective antibodies, all right? These are the antibodies we're looking for. These are the antibodies we're looking for. Sorry, that was terrible. So these are the antibodies we're looking for, and the antibody test for detecting whether you had exposure and have recovered with after exposure and sickness to COVID is the IgG, all right? So right now, Quest Diagnostics, and then there's a couple of other ones, GenoLight in San Diego and some others, that are offering at cost to do the antibody test. Why would you get one? Well, one of my good friends, a number of my good friends, but one who's on the call right now with us, had the test and is negative. And another one also had the test, Mike. So Terry has had the test, Mike has had the test, and others who have contacted me have had the test. So I don't want to get into the problems with it right now. I'll just say there's some problems with it. But this is the science behind it. Once these labs start getting it right, it will become more reliable. And then we need this because this is a good time as any to discuss one of my most recent posts. We need to learn what we call the seroprevalence. The seroprevalence in the New York, New Jersey area is approaching between 10 and 15% as the last data that I saw, 10 or 15%. That means within a certain locality in the northern New Jersey and New York metropolitan area, over the last, let's say 4 months, at least 10 to 15% of the population may have been exposed and may have antibodies. Why is that important? It's important because to achieve what we call herd immunity, where we can really see the effectiveness of this virus to replicate itself and cause disease, we need to have 80% herd immunity.